220 people. Wow, just watching me sit here. Fascinating.
Where were we? Japanese people.
Japanese. Oh, yeah, we're talking about red pill culture and global stuff. And then it got towards talking about Japan and how they're also going through population collapse, like everyone else. But I'm telling you, just the economy. You got to funnel
We're
more
not
money to
going
them.
through. I think the whole of population collapse thing is just absolutely ridiculous, especially in the context of like America and Canada, because first of all, is it population collapse or is it white people aren't reproducing enough and fear for the death of the white race? Because y'all are importing hundreds of thousands of people every year from all over the world. The population is not collapsing. The New World literally funnels the best of the entire world every year. Like
Yeah.
there's no collapse happening. Not to mention that the
So
rest of the world is reproducing like crazy, especially in poor places. Like
yeah, no.
crazy.
So like poor places are reproducing out of like Africa is the future. Their population growth is absolutely crazy. Like them in South America, right? I'm not arguing that. And I'm also not arguing like the point of like, oh, we're running out of white people. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a big fan of all the ladies. Everyone's welcome. Um, and that's how I defeated racism. You're welcome, everyone. But it's more about like we had too many people born in the 1950s. We had too many people born post World War II, and it caused a chunk of our population to grow up together. And as they aged, it caused massive economic changes. In the 70s, that's why we had like the 70s and the 80s, like crazy good economies because you have all these young people buying stuff. And then they get older, and then they start to retire, and then they start to die. And when this happens, the problem isn't we're not getting enough immigrants in. We're getting a fuckload of immigrants in. It's just that we're losing so much of our population every day to obesity, diabetes, disease, all of these things, because our life expectancy is coming down. So you have this entire massive cohort of people dying off at such a rapid rate, and there's not enough young people in the population to economically support the country anymore. That's what population collapse is. Like, there's literally just not enough people to go around and work the jobs,
But
and that's why, like in the U.S.,
you say that, but there is more than enough, and they're being brought in. What there isn't is just not enough of certain people. And no, people are coming in droves every day to the US and to Canada to work. Young people coming from
Mhm.
war-torn, economically collapsing countries like my own to work. There isn't a lack of people. We're not at a lack of young people to do the work at all. We're at a lack for, I think, maybe just being like, okay, you can work. It's okay if you're not a white American. Um, but Masalan, they
So
come from, what they do is, sorry, just not to interrupt you, but what they do is,
yeah, no,
you'll have someone come from Lebanon, let's say, to the US to work. They've studied, let's say, engineering, and they'll go to get their job, but what they'll be told is that they'll actually need to do several years more of work and acquisition of certifications for them to work because technically your experience and education outside these borders is not valid. It's not, and yes, you're a doctor in Jordan or Ecuador, but that doesn't make you a doctor here. Like that doesn't mean that there aren't young people to do the jobs. That means that there's something inherently flawed with the system itself. And I just feel like that whole conversation is literally only we're running out of white people. We're running out of white people.
so we're running out of a few things. We're running out of people to work minimum wage jobs, which is most jobs. Most jobs are minimum wage jobs. We're running out of people who will work those. We are running out of people who were in an industry for decades and have decades worth of knowledge who all retired when COVID hit. They took all of this knowledge with them and it caused massive vacuums in economic sectors. Because like you can hire anyone to do any job if you have someone who's done it for 30 years, there's so many things they've forgotten about the industry that most people will never even know. That's one issue. The other issue is we don't let in enough immigrants. I'm pro open borders. Like full disclosure, like you'll like I'm always like, yeah, send everyone. Come on, guys. We put it on the Statue of Liberty. Like you're gonna fucking count. Like it's stupid. like oh,
But
only
that's
500. No, everyone,
but
come on
it's not
over.
that
But like
we're not running out of people to do minimum wage jobs. It's not that there aren't enough people. It's that less people are willing to settle for a minimum wage job. Like, again, that's not population collapse. That's a problem inherent to corporations and the industry. If people are getting paid better, if minimum wage isn't so minimum that all it can do is buy you a couple of sandwiches a month, then I think more people would be willing to do it. And that, given that even, and people are still willing to do it, people are still trying to get in illegally to do whatever the fuck they can. There is no lack for people. There's no need. It's not the numbers that aren't there, It's not the people that aren't there. People are there again.
the one of the issues you get though is like everyone's trying to not have a minimum wage job. And for decades in the US, like all jobs are highly competitive. Like to get a job anywhere was a pain in the ass. If I felt so inclined, right now I could go through town, I could get hired at a dozen places this afternoon. Everyone's hiring nonstop forever now. There's not enough workers to go around who are stable, who will stay at the job for a long enough period of time to make it stable. It's
But it's
fucking
not because
hilarious to
there
me.
aren't
I
enough
hate that.
workers. It's not because there aren't
There's not
enough
enough
workers. It's
workers
because,
willing to settle for those conditions. And
yeah.
because a lot of jobs opened up offering better conditions, all of those low page workers consistently try and cycle up now to those jobs, which then creates a vacuum that used to be filled by having too many people looking for work. It used to be too many people willing to fight for any job they could get because any job kind of paid okay. Now no jobs pay okay. So there's no competition for them. So you get a weird scenario that only happens when you get a large group of people at the top of the population dying off and not enough people below to replace. That's why it's called population collapse.
But it's not that there aren't people to replace. There are. They're just not settling. Yeah, and if anything, the only thing that's happening is that these corporations and institutions and businesses that want to put people in such shitty conditions and pay them so little that they can barely survive are literally going to have to step up their game. And there will be lots of
Yeah,
people. There will be lots
yeah,
of people ready to do the work. But
like
but
the
not
I
for
I
not for
think
these conditions anymore. Not anymore.
no, no, absolutely not. That's why the economy is collapsing. Like this is an end state of things. This isn't like we're going to do this for the next 25 years. Like no, this is what the end of it looks like. Because eventually you just have too many places go out of business at the same time, and it causes chain reactions of other people going out of business, which I'm looking forward to. It'll be very, very, very amusing for like a little
Well,
bit. Then it'll
people,
get really sad and depressing.
no, because they'll, on one end, things will go out of business, but at the same time, new businesses and new ways of working are also being born. Because, like you said, people are
Yeah,
realizing that there are new minimum wage jobs that are offering better conditions, offering better wages. And so people will go and opt for that. It's really just going to force people to upgrade. And once again, it doesn't at all point to population collapse. It's not that there aren't people, it's that less people are willing to settle the way they used to. Our parents are that whole boomer, white knuckle, just do what you gotta do and work hard. Like that's dead. Nobody thinks about like this anymore.
yeah,
Very
that's
few
gone.
few people think like this. So of course we're not going to settle for these bullshit jobs. Like people will go hungry instead of settling for these jobs. Because Aslan,
Yeah,
you'll take that job and you'll still go hungry. You'll still go hungry. You
exactly.
still can't pay your rent. Like what?
Yeah, then people that and then the next step is usually just economic collapse. That's the point. I'm agreeing with you. Like it literally got so bad that it's such a shit show that everyone's just like, yeah, I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm good. It's like what? I'm gonna come here for 40 hours a week so that I can be in physical pain all day of my life, and I can barely scrape by. Fuck no. Pass. I'll go do literally anything else. And like, there's everywhere I've worked in the last few years, they're just doing crime, like just straight up crime. Like I cannot picture working anywhere that's not doing crime. In my brain, like everyone was doing crime all of the time, trying to get me to do crime, and I'm like, guys, that's crime. You understand that? Like, it's become so ingrained in the culture of just like work that we do crimes here. We do crimes here because we're barely getting by now, so the only way we can get by is to do crime. Those people do not give a shit about improving working conditions for their employees at all. A lot of people, they got their businesses started at a time when it was very, very easy to do so. And now they're at a point where, like, in order to keep running their business, they have to, like, not do crime. And it's very difficult for them because that was their business model from the beginning. And now they're like, oh, you got to pay people? It's ridiculous.
Can you believe it?
But America's so cool. Now we're like making it legal for little kids to work because we're just like we're so low on workers. We're like, okay, if you're 13, come to the mines. We're going back in time. That's how desperate people are for fucking labor.
No, that's how desperate they are not to evolve. That's how desperate they are to
Yeah,
not give more or be more generous or create better conditions or literally step it
they
up.
want to cling to the
But
past, their grubby little hands.
yeah, they still want to get as much as they can out of it. And hey, you'll solicit teenagers because teenagers are more likely to settle for whatever. They have no experience, they don't know
Easier
what's
to
up, and they don't
abuse.
need that much.
They're just
Wait,
easier
what?
to abuse. Like they're
Yeah,
easier to abuse. They will
yeah.
take any shit coming at them from an authority figure. I'm your boss. I tell you how it goes. Like
That's
you
messed
can
up.
train them pretty well.
But at the same time, new sectors open in the economy all the time, like the creator economy. This was never a thing. This is what, 20, this is 20 years old, not even 20 years old. The idea that one can just speak to the void and make money off of it because they recorded it on camera. How many people throughout history were just great speakers and, sat in squares and spoke and maybe got like coins thrown at them or whatever. Like
Fucking town
that's,
scryer is not a job anymore, and it's so annoying. Odin's so good at hear ye, hear ye. I got some shit to tell you.
but it
Oh,
is. That's what a TikToker is.
I know it's
That's what you,
great.
it's an economy now. Like the creator economy is a thing, and that's its own route now that was never dreamed of, that one can take that's totally independent of anything and everything. You don't need a diploma, you don't need a degree, and you don't have a ceiling or a salary. So,
You just gotta put one in your handle and tell everyone you have it. Like I'm a PhD. Everyone go check. Put in my handle. Believe me.
Twitchy Witch PhD.
Yeah, just throw it in there. Um, I tell everyone I'm a chiropractor because I don't think you need a certification to be one of those. You do, guys. You do need a certification.
Yeah.
Do you know what it takes to become? This is off topic, but there's no topic, so it doesn't matter. The certifications to become a chiropractor are fucking horrifying. Because I was looking into it at one point because I was like, that could be fun. And then I learned it's like pseudoscience and not fun. But the in order to become a medical doctor, like an MD, you must go to medical school. And you do like 4 years doing medical school, and then you do like 2 years in like whatever you're gonna be doing. So if you're doing like heart shit, you go into cardiology school, you just do cardiology shit for 2 years. And then you do your rounds for like another fucking 2 years, and then you get to be a doctor. It's a whole process. To be a fucking chiropractor, you just gotta go to like the 4 years of like basic human. It's just fucking 4 years of anatomy. That's all it is. It's just 4 years of dedicated anatomy and biology. Cool. And then you go to like a 6 month chiropractor retreat thing, and they teach you how to like pop people's like spines. And then you're a doctor of chiropractic medicine, and they give you like the whole doctorate thing, and you're a doctor now. You get to tell people you're a doctor, and then you get to like do chiropractor shit on people, which has no benefits shown, but it's super easy to get one compared to like every other medical degree. Um, and sometimes people have a stroke when you crack their neck, so that's a fun little tidbit I wanted to throw in there.
All right. Well, I mean, if that's true, then I think I trust chiropractors a lot less now.
You should. There's one TikToker on here. I've watched all of his videos. He cracks dogs' necks, like he does chiropractor stuff on dogs, And it makes me deeply, deeply uncomfortable because I just want the dogs to bite him. In every video, I'm like, bite him. I'm like, bite that guy. And then they never do.
Mm.
They never do.
Why do you want them to bite him? Damn.
Because he's cracking dogs' necks. You can't explain that to an animal. Okay, I'm going to crack your neck real quick. Weird. Your jaws
Do
and
they
stuff.
die?
No. He's not
Oh.
murdering them.
Oh, well then,
That'd be a
so he's
dark
helping
TikTok
them.
account. Yeah, well, help's a strong word. He's cracking their joints for TikTok views. I want to be
Well,
like,
or is it to make them more comfortable? What if they have like arthritis or joint pain?
yeah, that's the thing. It's not shown to actually alleviate those things. That's why it's like pseudoscience. It just like makes a fun sound. It makes you feel like you get like a stress release in the moment, but there's no like long-term benefits to it. Unless you keep going to a chiropractor, which is what they tell you to do, because they want you coming every week for an adjustment. So you can make money.
Hmm.
So everyone's trying to make money.
Thank you, guys.
See, what I do with my messages is I just set it on one set and I never let it scroll because it'll distract me. Sometimes people say mean things, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to read that.
They say lots of mean things, but that's a good idea actually, because mine does distract me sometimes.
They call us hipsters. Rude.
What is a hipster? Can anyone really define this word?
It's someone who actively goes against like the mainstream. So like they like cool vintage shit. So that they'll always wear something that's dated, and like so like hipsters right now are gonna start wearing like a lot of early 2000s, fucking late 90s outfits, and then they're gonna do grunge again, and then it'll probably be like 2010s outfits. They'll probably do like online cringe again. It's just like a cycle of clothing. They're just one off from everyone else. I don't know how other people would describe hipsters. That's what they are to me. They move. They like looking artsy. That's their thing. They want to look like someone who likes art. Even if they don't like art, they just want to look like someone who knows art. They like the same directors usually. So like Wes Anderson, they all like Wes Anderson. I like Wes Anderson. He's great, but like they really like Wes Anderson. The true hipsters
Excuse me.
like what's his name? Fucking couldn't even tell you. He made The Shining. That guy. A lot of people like that guy. He's so good.
Stephen
Stephen
King, is that him?
Kubrick. Stephen King wrote it.
Stanley Kubrick?
Stanley Kubrick. A lot of hipsters like him. They like bad music usually, because it's like a
Bad
competition to
music.
find bad music
What's bad
that
music?
no one else listens to.
Right.
It's just like
It's important.
it's just
Obscure.
the true goal of a hipster is to find a musician and like said musician before they're popular. So like my hipster claim to fame would be I liked Lorde before she was well known. I'm like, oh yeah, I really like this musician, and then she got really, really popular, and I was like, ooh, I really nailed that one. That's what a hipster is. Like they're just always looking out for like the next cool thing before it was cool, and then once it gets cool, they don't like it anymore.
So you don't like Lorde anymore?
No, I love Lorde. Are you kidding me? She looks like a witch. Like, everything about her. She's
Right.
so weird and creepy looking. She's perfect.
Yeah.
She's funny. Um, her last album had a lot of like fun astrology references in it. It was good. That's a
Okay.
hipster. Boom.
That's a hipster. So it's mostly an aesthetic.
Yeah, it's an aesthetic and lifestyle. My friend is like an actual hipster, and it drove him insane when hipsters became a thing because he is a hipster. He's like born and bred, only watches like Woody Allen films, hipster. But like, it became a whole aesthetic in the early 2000s because you gotta be cool. You gotta be cool. Don't fall for it. This is a crossover.
Guys, he cannot read your comments. He can't see
I'm reading
what
these
you're
comments right
writing.
now, and it's kind of funny. That person, hey, Raviolicia, I agree with Twitchy Witch on that subject. So that's a fun one. There's so many interesting. I can't play it, man. Come on.
I'm sorry, you guys. Like he can't. You have to go into his chat for him to be able to see your comments. But they're trying to. A lot of people are trying to tell you that you were wrong about chiropractors.
That's fine. They can tell. They can say I'm wrong all they want. You're not going to convince me on chiropractic medicine. Ooh, I cracked my bones. I'm a chiropractor. Go away.
And med school.
Med school
All
varies
caps.
from like wherever the fuck you are.
Thank you, Tinkerbell. I like having you here.
Ooh, I got people coming over here to tell me I'm right about chiropractors. This shit's hilarious.
I love it. I
Chiropractors
love
are
it.
scary.
We're trying to unite the people, not divide
Okay, I
them.
want to make a point. I gotta make a point to this person. They're making fun of me for having a man bun, but making fun of hipsters. Guys, the reason you have a man bun, okay, it has nothing to do with being a hipster. It has to do with when your hair gets to a certain length, your options are either to put it in a bun back here or to have it hit your eyes constantly. And if you're going to be filming something, your hair is going to be back here, so not hitting your eyes constantly. That's why I have a man bun.
Just a practical move, really.
It's the only move. And you feel like before you get into it, you're like, oh, I'll never have a man bun. And then you realize like wind exists. And you're like, fuck, I forgot about wind.
Oh, did you get an arc, by the way? An
No,
arc.
I was Googling them. I haven't bought one yet.
You should get one.
The problem I
Guys,
quickly realized is you can't
I was
search for
gonna
it for like men's hair arc. You gotta just do like hair arcs in general. Cause like if you do
just
men's,
hair.
like, yeah, I think they're unisex
Yeah,
upon
just
some research.
that the black ones, they're like wiry
Hmm.
black. You just put them in your hair and then hold them up. They look good.
I think that's the move.
Natural problems of hipsters. Only hipsters have long hair, you guys. Yummy.
Yeah,
Thank
because
you.
everyone else works for like the man, and the man makes you cut your hair. Easy move.
Ah, right, right, right. Thank you.
Also, I just have pretty long curly hair, so I wanted to have long curly hair. I
You're
can't
just
like
jealous of me.
why
You're jealous of
I
my
want
hair.
I'm gonna get better at you. It's gonna be so fun.
Never, never. There is no better hair.
Just gotta grow it another 10 years.
Okay, next topic.
I'm viewing the chat. Ooh, dang.
What about acupuncture? What do you think of acupuncture?
It probably works. Like I haven't researched it enough, but it probably works just based off of like how I think the human body kind of functions. Yeah. I wouldn't do it. I don't like the idea of laying down and having a bunch of needles poked into me, but I can see how the logic would track if you got a bunch of like not only nerve nodes but also like lymphatic nodes and like all sorts of shit throughout your entire body. I would not be surprised if Chinese medicine tracked that shit thousands of years ago and found ways to interact with it using needles. That would track. That's acupuncture.
Hmm. There's there's this cross practice. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of it. It's like Western acupuncture, and they mix acupuncture practices with electricity. So they'll put the needles in specific places and then put like a very small, like a particularly small voltage on the spot if you have like a certain muscle, and it'll just basically it'll activate the whole muscle and just like renew it. And it's pretty insane. Like it's very, very effective, you know. Probably one of my favorite West meets East fusions, especially in terms of like healthcare and stuff. It's tins on the needles. What do you mean it's tins? Also,
I
this
had
is a
a
state
similar,
sub, you guys.
ooh, I had a similar procedure. I used to have like nerve issues in my left hand. Like I couldn't feel like two of my fingers, and the treatment for that was like having a needle put into like my upper neck area where my trap is, and then like they
Mm.
would zap my fingers and like my entire arm to like re-wake it up essentially, and
Oops.
find like where the blockage was. It was fun.
Did it work?
Yeah, but I mostly just had to stop playing a fucking game on my phone all day at work. That was what was fucking up my hand.
Oh, sheesh.
I was
So
so
it's a
good at it, guys.
posture.
Have you ever played Hill Climb? Hill Climb Racer 2? I'm your fucking boy.
What is that?
What do you think about? It's a fucking stupid phone game. That's such a weird question. What do you think about healing? I think it's so
About healing?
yeah. I mean anything.
Healing? I'm against it. Don't do it. Stay broken,
Don't
babes.
do it. Like
I'm kidding. Stay toxic, BB.
yeah,
Fuck
if you're
everybody.
in your toxic area, lean into it.
Forget what they think. Believe in your toxicity.
It's like, guys, you're trying to heal. Have you seen how annoying people are on their healing journeys? Fuck,
Gross.
go try and heal.
Gross. Gross. You think you'd be funny if
All
you were
about
healed? No. Stay broken. Stay funny. Stay sarcastic.
I'm all
Okay?
about positive energy and positive vibes. Mm-mm-mm.
Gross. Get out. You're not invited. Thoughts on healing.
That's on healing. I feel like healing is funny because it'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go on a healing journey. and then you're on your healing journey, and you're getting nothing accomplished. Like there's no healing being done. It's like you're just using trauma from your past in order to motivate like yourself and your future action. And you're just doing this and you're doing this and you're doing this. And then like you'll randomly, well, not so randomly, you'll like be on substances, like maybe perhaps, and like completely lose your like frame of mind for like reality itself. And you'll just be like, oh, I should probably let go of that baggage, huh? And then you just drop it instantaneously. And then like that was the healing. Like there was no journey. It was a healing thought, rectification, and then just like back on the bullshit. Just like back to doing whatever. The entire time spent like focusing on healing is just like always living in the future to a degree. It's like always looking forward to the future when I will be this thing that's not broken, but the only thing separating you and that is as a frame of mind, which can be dealt with instantaneously. It doesn't need to be a journey. You know, it doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're saying it's a more in the moment thing. It happens spontaneously. It's a
Yeah,
thing that happens in a heck, like in a flash, you know, or in the moment. But I think if anything, I know there's no real healing. And there's expansion and integration and growth for real. Like at the end of the day, that little broken child or person or aspect or moment within you, that's always going to be there. And to deny it or say, oh, I'm going to eliminate it, I'm going to heal it, is to say that I don't want to be who I am. I don't know how to use this to empower myself. I don't know how I can integrate what this
it's
is.
the literally disliking something that's part of you that you don't have control over, having it be part of you, and you're like, guys, there's no other option. Like, there's
Hmm.
only one logical option, which is just to be like, oh, this is just part of me now. I guess. How do I want to use
Hmm.
this for healthy ways?
Exactly. Because, like, what if you're, traumatized? Let's say one of the worst things, and you're traumatized by the abuse of a parent, you know, something extremely invasive and extremely awful. You're not going to heal that. That'll be there, and it'll be ideally part of what makes you who you are, part of how you move in the world. If you can learn from it, if you can learn to accept it or accept that it wasn't your fault, and how you can cease to say repeat that kind of trauma or behavior in the world, that's not necessarily healing. Because if you were to eliminate that part of you and deny it and reject it and heal it and be like, that's not me, that's not me, that's not a part of me, you'll most likely end up doing the same thing, repeating the cycle. It will end up being unconscious within you and driving you. Like you'll do it, you'll maybe end up doing it more passive aggressively or more subtly or in your own way, or maybe just recreating it in the same way and being totally unaware of the fact, you know?
Oh yeah, I love how people do that constantly. They'll be like, oh, I never want to be like my father. My father was very overbearing. He's so controlling. All of these things, and they end up being
Mm-hmm.
exactly like they're cookie
Mm-hmm.
cutter. Like, how did you not
Yeah.
see it? Or even the
Yeah.
opposite. They'll do the complete 180. It'll be the opposite of the father. He's super open. I'm like to understand, and then you end up with a kid with no like direction, and then that kid grows up to then be like overbearing and like all these other things. You just like instead of like fixing the cycle, it's just like you flip it and you just have it go in the other direction, but it's not resolved. It's just going to keep playing out
Mm-hmm.
over generations over and over and over. And everyone else forgets like we all had shitty childhoods, kids. Like everyone does. Like, everyone has unfortunate parts of your life. What makes us all people. And then like a lot of the times we'll try and act like, oh, like mine perfect. Everything was perfect. Everything was always perfect. Like that's why I'm perfect. And my views are perfect because I had a perfect upbringing. I couldn't be wrong. Everything was perfect.
And that's kind of like what we were talking about the other day in terms of like I don't think there's such a thing as positive and negative force. There's force, like there's an energy. And the force of the energy is positive. If there's force, it's a positive force. It's exerting itself, meaning that the net worth of the force is positive, no matter what it is, no matter what it brings about or what it's meant to do. And so it's like you're living with this energy And what you're trying to do is eliminate it, heal it. Cause when what you really
Yeah.
need to do is like find the place for it. It needs a place. It can't disappear. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed, right? So you can't just dissipate that energy. You can't get rid of it. You can't close it like it's a wound, like it needs transfiguring. It needs placement where it belongs, somewhere it can be useful so that it doesn't manifest, like you said, turning you into like the opposite of your father or becoming exactly like your father or maybe even worse than your father.
This
Yeah,
is
it
why I like
needs like,
Naruto so much. Because like
mm,
it's everyone's always like, hey, like I have this demon inside and I don't know what to do with it. I want to fix it. I have this thing about me that I do not like. It's like, hey guys, have you ever sat down and talked to the monster? Like you ever just been like, hey, what's your deal? Like, what are you into? Like, would you like sports? Like, what's going on? No one does that shit because it's spooky. Be like, hey, fucked up evil me, what's up? Um, and then you quickly figure out, like, it's just like in Naruto. He goes and he talks to Kurama inside of him, and he's like, hey man, I noticed you're a terrifying demon fox. That's a lot. He's like, yeah, that's a lot. He's like, hey, I'm not gonna let you out because you're just a demon fox and you'll fuck things up. He's like, understand? Do you want me to help you fuck up other ninjas though? And he's like, you know what? Yeah, I think I could use that power to fuck up other ninjas. You know, you stay here. We'll build. We'll grow. We'll work on something together, you and me. But you're saying I can fuck up other ninjas with your power? Like, yeah, have it. Go for it. Have some fun. It's the same kind of thing where it's like if you're not using the guy in you who likes to fight and fuck things up, probably not going to get anywhere in life because you're not trying to fight and fuck things up to a degree. Like
mhm.
that's a useful energy.
Or you'll fight yourself and fuck
Mm-hmm.
yourself up. Or like when in, like the Disney movies, when the character always has the animal familiar, and the animal familiar always fucks them up in one way or another. Like when Aladdin goes into the cave and Abu ends up touching the little ruby, even though they're not supposed to touch anything. And the journey for Aladdin was never, oh, I need to get rid of Abu. I need to
Not even
fix
once.
I need to fix Abu. I need to, Rabbi, like I need to discipline him. No. No, that's his animal nature. That's his animal familiar. Like it's the symbol of his animal nature. He's not trying to eliminate his animal nature, but he knows that it is his animal nature that made him touch the ruby when he wasn't supposed to touch anything but the lamp.
And then his jinn, his fire spirit, converts
Right.
Abu into an elephant to be used.
Right, right, exactly. That's actually a
That
great
is that is
metaphor.
the two circles, right? Like
Mm,
Abu is our monkey body, and Genie is our higher self, and we're just Aladdin. We're just Aladdin,
mhm.
and we
Okay.
don't perceive that you can ask the genie for wishes, and he'll be like, "Yeah, man, it's fine. Like whatever you wanted, that was always an option."
Can you all explain self-sabotage?
Oh, it's a fucking banger by the Beastie Boys. Oh, that's sabotage. So self sabotage is when you think you're bad at the things you're good at. Mostly, everyone does it. Everyone's so convinced that the things that they know the most about, they couldn't possibly know that much about because they're an idiot. So you just don't even try. Everyone's too scared to even try, which is the hardest thing because that's like you'd fail because you have the least amount of experience. But like baby birds get to try flying one time. They get to try it once, and then like that's it. So it's
Mm.
they do fine. Like they do fine. They still got to try though.
What do you mean?
Um,
Like, I mean, how is the baby bird learning to fly
so like
related to
imagine
self-sabotage?
okay, so like I can only speak from like personal experience because I've never lived as anyone else. Shockingly, I've been trying. But from the majority of like my career, I always thought that external opinions and beliefs about me were correct. So then I would internalize these beliefs and be like, oh, they're correct. These are smart people. These are powerful people. Their views on me must be correct, which would then cause me to behave in ways that were not beneficial for my existence. So I was sabotaging myself daily at the
Mm.
perspective of other people. In order to break that cycle, You have to kind of have self-esteem to a degree and have the courage to be like, hey, I might not know much, but I do know this is all bullshit. Your views
Mm.
on me are bullshit. I suspect that my views are better. And if I listen to them, everything will be a-okay. So then, in order to stop self-sabotaging myself, I then had to take a leap of faith and quit a job willy-nilly with no backup plan. Knowing that's a spooky thing to do. Knowing that it was going to put me into a state of high anxiety. I was going to be anxious all of the fucking time because I was going to be like, I need money, I need money, I need money. But also understanding everything is going to be fine. That's how I get out of self-sabotage, is I just do the thing. Just do the thing. Anxiety is a tool. Anxiety is a way for a rat to solve a maze. You are just plugging away at all possibilities as fast as you can. That's what anxiety is. That's where you get like scared. You're like, oh, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? All right. When your anxiety shifts to how do I stay alive? How do I acquire a new job? How do I make it forward in this reality? Your anxiety is very present moment. You're not worried about what people think about you. You're not worried about where you're going to be in 5 years. You are worried about where you currently are. And when you're working from that time frame of where I am right now in this moment, there's usually not a lot of self-sabotage going on because you're doing carpe diem every day. You're uh, living with the understanding that like everything's going to be okay every day. Everything's not
Which
okay
this can
every
be
day,
self-sabotage.
but
This can
like,
be
oh,
self-sabotage, no?
this could be self-sabotage 100%. For me, it's not, right? Every encounter I've had has just reaffirmed that I was correct in the notion that if you try and help out, the universe will help you out in concurrence. They'll be like, hey man, thanks, and then it'll like help you out in concurrence with that. I've yet to be proven wrong. I'll probably get proven wrong at some point, but then that would just tell me you just keep going. Because like if it got me that this far the first time, you're going to have an inevitable dip because everything's just a fucking squiggle. So when it dips, you just go again. You just hope it gets higher that time. But like
Mm.
the self sabotage is always rooted, at least for me, in whenever I give a shit about other people's opinions of me, because no one knows fucking anything about any of you. No, like you guys can sit here and you can watch us talk and be like, oh, look at these people. They have great hair. Um, don't know us. Like you haven't been with me for my entire life. It's in the same way I haven't been with you guys for your entire life. So if I were to judge, I'm automatically wrong. All my assumptions are wrong. I don't know shit about fuck, right? If you were to operate under the assumption that whatever I think about you counts, you're gonna do a lot of dumb shit that's not in your self interest because you're getting viewpoints from the wrong things.
Mhm.
Your only thing that should matter is what's inside you. Everything else is fucking shit. Like that's why like
And
I one last thing
yeah.
like my favorite comment on my thing so far is I thought we were watching Love on the Spectrum, which is a really funny fucking comment. Um, but
Is
like
that a show?
that's a TV show on Netflix where they have autistic people date. I've never watched it. I've never watched it because everyone tells me to watch it because they know me and they'll be like, "Oh, you'll find this great." No, fuck you guys. You don't know me. I hate watching that shit. I think it's the worst stuff.
Did you watch any of it? Is it good?
No,
Like what?
it's so. I've seen trailers and it's just uncomfortable for me because it's just like a dude who's like, "You want to see my favorite dinosaur collection?" And a girl like, "Yeah," and then just them doing that, and I'm like, "Yeah, is that how you guys go on dates? It's the move." Girls love dinosaurs. Guys,
Sure,
every
why
girl has a
not?
favorite dinosaur. You should just ask them.
Don't listen to him. If you're not autistic, don't listen to him.
Every girl has a favorite dinosaur. I asked every girl favorite dinosaur, favorite color.
Ask a girl her favorite book. That'll get you some points.
Women can't read. What are you talking about?
He said what? No, women can't read.
Oh,
Damn. Okay, just to go back to something you said. And no, and yes, you're right to a degree. And no, we just kind of have to find the willpower. to stop a certain behavior, a certain way of being, or self-sabotage, or our anxiety, etc. But there are also material conditions that people live with that a lot of the time are inescapable. Someone mentioned here. So, for example, people in Lebanon, let's say, live in a consistently anxiety inducing environment from the nature, the fact that there could be an earthquake at any time, from the geopolitical climate, the fact that a bomb could fall at any time, the collapsing economy, and the fact that we have to think about a million things before we do the most basic of activities like take a shower or turn the lights on or turn on the AC. Like my followers were like, Elian, why don't you turn on the AC if you're so hot? Because I'm running on like a solar panel for the rest of the day and it's probably gonna run out by a little bit after midnight. So of course I can't turn on the AC. It's too much for the solar power to withstand. Like that in itself, those take little teeny tiny things that just create an anxious environment already. Like already the environment is hostile. And I want to say it's nearly impossible to simply rely on willpower only because that kind of environment biologically and chemically affects you and psychologically limits you. Khalas. That's as far as you can think now. How many hours, what time you're going to turn on the hot water so that you can take that shower, so that you can go out later, so that you don't. All of that is going through your head. And at the same time, you're trying to also expand your mind and not self sabotage and be healed and all these things that are so far this is like this is for the middle class, and I haven't even gotten into all of this plus poverty.
Yeah,
Can you
that's
just
that's the point.
imagine?
That's the point, though, right? So, like, the U.S. doesn't have the fear of bombs falling on us. We got pretty much all of the other ones. We got public shootings. That's what we get instead of bombs. It's like, oh, so there's gonna be a mass shooting at this Walmart today, but it's by design. Like, that's the point of like the political class and the media class, to keep everyone fucking on edge constantly, because it makes them live like just like this. Like that's as
Mm,
far as they can see, and the future is like day to day. So they can't plan. They can't even begin to strategize how they would get out of their predicament, because they can't afford the mental energy to do so, because every day is so fucking exhausting. Because to like sit down and like think about like how I'm going to get out of this situation, that's a big question. And if you can't like sit down and do that, like you don't have the fucking time to do that, let alone the mental energy. It just never happens. But it keeps the population really good at working and like going to work and shit, and like following orders.
because
Like
people have to survive at the end
mhm.
of the day. you know you have to survive, and the crazy thing is that it's the people in these conditions, sometimes in the worst conditions, who are actually able to live the most fully, who are actually able to appreciate every moment, to laugh, to love the people in their lives, to care for the people in their lives, and still be, quote unquote, what we would consider unhealed, self sabotaging, anxiety ridden, all of the things.
It's a matter of also like what are your goals? So like
Mm.
if your goal, like let's say you're self sabotaging, right? In what ways? Is your goal to live a low anxiety life? If that's your goal, then you could be self sabotaging in ways that prevent you from getting there. If living an anxiety inducing life does not bother you, then you can opt for that. Like honestly, like I hate working jobs where I stand around all day. I love working jobs where I'm in a clusterfuck or a shit show or what have you. I love a good crazy town rush. I love it when like there's like a sea of people that need dealing with. That's fun as fuck. If that's what you seek out, that's fine. Like everyone's wants and needs are different. So like
Mm.
it, but like for me for example, like I like not having high anxiety. I think that's fun. I don't like being anxious, so I seek out environments that are not like that. Um, if I were to constantly do things that put me in high anxiety environments, I'd be sabotaging the fuck out of myself, though. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
your goals have to matter. Some people, they think I just want everyone to like help out a little bit. I think that's it. That's just pitch in, like do a little help out. A lot of people like, take that and they think that means like, oh, you gotta like donate, like give your entire life to charity. It's like no, just like be nicer to your kids. Like just like
Hmm.
take an L. Just take an L. Like oh, I lost this argument. Whoopsies. Like just do shit like that. Like it doesn't have to be this
Hmm.
fucking massive thing. And also like
Hmm.
I think especially when it comes to like healing or self sabotage or anything like that in general, you should just have an innate ability to weather storms. You should always have not only a desire, but like a kind of an enjoyment of weathering difficult situations because they're fun. Like difficult situations, like really, really difficult situations, are few and far between, and they're exciting, and like you learn from
Oh,
them.
I disagree. I disagree heavily.
Oh,
Difficult situations are sometimes for a lot, if not, I want to say most people, almost what makes up their entire lives. Some people don't get a peaceful day. It's so freaking hard. No, I
oh
think
yeah,
challenges and difficult days are so common and difficult things. And you're right that ideally we would all face challenges, obstacles, difficulties with excitement and with a readiness to grow and learn and expand. But that's not the case. You know, that's not what that's not what we're naturally inclined to do even. That's what alchemy is. That's why we call ourselves alchemists, because we have learned to accept the challenge and to not even just accept it, love it, appreciate it, thank it for coming. Like, oh, universe has a plot twist for me. Amazing, amazing. Time for me to level up. But not everyone is thinking that. Few people are thinking that, especially masalan, someone living in abject poverty with a family to support, consistently being challenged, consistently facing difficulties, consistently be broken down by the system, by colleagues, by bosses, by friends, by people in his own home, by his parents, by so many things. It's an almost impossible life. You're consistently being beaten down and broken down day in and day out, and to expect someone to just love that fate is very stoic, and ideal, but not realistic. Like,
I
if anything, the first thing we would need to be able to even begin to see in the way that you're saying, is to have people around us who are experiencing at least somewhat similar things and can remind us that we're not alone. Like we're not even close to appreciating the challenge. First, let's accept that we're not the only ones living in this difficulty. That's number one, still. Like, let's first just try and see that, okay, life sucks, but it sucks for a lot of people, not just me. So let me just see how other people are handling it. Like, and even then, we're still not even close to, I love the challenge. I love the difficulty. Even I don't love the difficulty all the time, like it's painful. Things are painful. And there are lots of things that are truly difficult. Don't even play with. We said they're few and far in between. Few and far in between. Like, what? Life is so full of difficulty. So
so
full.
like the my first thought is like so take someone whose life's extremely difficult, right? Someone who leads a difficult life day in and day out. Like they work in a fucking cobalt mine in the Congo. That's where this person lives. Okay, their life is cuckoo in a way I can't even begin to comprehend. As a side effect of that, they're gonna have a level of resiliency that I can't even begin to fucking comprehend. They'll never even get close to comprehending. You do what? You mine cobalt? Like my brain can't handle that, right? That is not to say they at some point cannot use the absurd level of resiliency a life like that generates to then do their own spiritual alchemy and be like, hey, maybe I don't want to mine cobalt. Maybe there's a way out of this. Maybe I can. It's just about looking for another direction. It's just the incentive to look around. It's all you need, right? But everyone's life breeds both advantages and disadvantages, and they're usually pretty interlinked. So if you're leading that extra hardcore difficult life, yeah, you're gonna acquire a lot of disadvantages. But you're gonna get a few advantages too. So like in the United States, the people who are most likely to make money and get promoted at work are immigrants from Haiti. Because when you live in Haiti, where it is fucking impossible to live, then you move to the United States where it's a joke. Like in comparison, you thrive. You fucking thrive because you can tolerate things Americans can't tolerate. You can work jobs Americans wouldn't even think to look like seek out because you can hustle in ways Americans' brains can't even perceive it.
But look, if that were, see, if this were, I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't know. I don't know anything about this, but by that logic, women would be getting promoted way more than men. Women would be way above men in every workforce because women live their whole lives in consistent resilience and in consistent opposition with the world around them, and we don't get promoted more often. And I think the people we see at the top getting promoted the most are the people who look the most like the people already at the top, who look and sound the most like the people already at the top, who are potentially the people who could potentially be their buddies. It isn't even a matter of merit. It isn't a meritocracy, really, most of the time.
So I hate to be this guy. Yeah, I don't count climbing social ladders as an end all be all in terms of like good lives. So like or mattering. So number one, women employment at higher levels in companies has been trending upwards since they entered the labor force, at least in the United States, because they got tricked like silly gooses. You shouldn't want to climb a corporate ladder, man or woman. That's a fool's game, guys. That is not the move, like ever. Typically, people who climb the corporate ladder are psychopaths, and they're competing with psychopaths. So like you won't see a lot of women climb the ladder as far as men will, because men can do psychopathy in a way women can't, like
Hmm.
next level psycho shit. So like I don't like using the corporate ladder as a barometer of who's doing well. You know what I mean? It's it's like you because if let's say
No, you're
you're
right.
working a corporate job and you're not even like high up, you're like mid tier, like a mid tier manager. That means you just report to a bunch of psychopaths. Like your
Hmm.
day is just like you report to a bunch of psychopaths. You manage a bunch of millennials who hate their fucking job and are kind of mean towards you, even though you have no real say over their existence. And you got a few Gen Zers who are just irritating the fuck out of you, and that's corporate existence. Everyone's a psycho or
No,
young
I
and
agree.
still foolhardy. Like, oh, I'm gonna
Yeah,
make something of myself. No, you won't. Get the fuck out.
I agree. I don't think the corporate ladder, rise, whatever, should be the end all be all for anyone whatsoever. If anything, we should be working together to bring down the corporate complex,
Maximize
ideally.
tanning on the beach.
Right.
Maximize coffee mornings.
Filming yourself talking.
Maximize filming myself talking. Because what I'm going to do afterwards is I'm just going to rewatch this because I'm the only thing that's interesting in the world. So I'll just rewatch myself. But just
You're
maximize
silly.
the opposite of corporate profits. How many
It's
likes do you
almost
have?
midnight here. How many likes? More than you?
Can you tell?
Yeah, it says 47.3K. How many do you have?
You say 47?
Hmm.
How many people
No,
are
yeah.
watching your side?
How
Just
how many? Wait, how many likes do you have?
don't worry about it. How many people are watching
No,
this?
you have to tell me. No.
I got 14.3.
Ugh,
This is
lame.
some bullshit. But what's your how many people are watching it?
How many people are watching you? You have to tell me first now.
230.
Oh, better. I have 213. Shit.
Oh, how many people just
People
don't
hate
like it?
watch you. I think people hate watch you more.
Hmm, that would explain a lot. That's fair. Man, I like that too because I only hate watch things. Like I don't like watching things that are good. That's boring. I only hate watch shit. So
Oh,
if
oh, so
I
that's why you
said,
have hate watchers.
oh yeah, it would make sense. It's the energy I attract.
Nice. Guys, don't go to his live. Stay here.
No, I
And
won't.
everyone who's in his live, you should come to this side. We have more fun here. There are more likes. The conversation is great.
Yeah, she talks so much shit on
And
my followers. She's always like, "Yeah, your followers, they like mean people, and they can tolerate meanness. They're a bunch of meanies."
Hey, future nachos. They're coming over. They're coming over.
Oh God, they are. Oh no, come back.
You are more adamant likers. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the love. You're so beautiful. I love you too. All of the likes back. And by the way, you guys, if you haven't already, go follow me on Instagram, please.
You're so close
Help
to
me
20.
reach 20K. Yes, I'm so close to 20K. For real. For real. And I'm at the
And
point where I'm like losing more followers than I'm gaining. So it was like,
oh,
19,950. Now it's like 19,942. I need your help, guys. I need your
just
help.
don't take it personally. They're probably just deactivating their accounts.
Oh, right. Good point. Good point.
Mm-hmm.
Switched over. Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
Yes, Hermes
I've
is
lost
bitter but
50
wise.
followers. What?
My over here they're talking about you. You seem bitter but also sometimes wise. And I agree, Mama Nation.
Who's in bitter? Me or you?
You're Hermes. You're the one.
How have I ever seen bitter? Yeah, a little bit sometimes.
Let's go deep. We can't. Hermes isn't big enough. Oh, no, I'm kidding.
It is so
I'm
weird.
just joking. I'm joking. Sorry, guys. No, don't go to Hermes
See,
live. Stay here.
this is.
Yeah, they're here for it. I'm just playing, you guys. I have no idea. I have no idea.
Have I read that? No, I can't. I like it when my followers are like, "Have you read such and such book?" As if I could read. It's like, guys, books are so long. They got so many words.
No, I've seen the movie. Is there a movie?
Barbie.
Oh, they're talking about the Barbie movie? Is there a
No, I'm talking
book?
about the Kabbalion, but it's the same thing.
Oh, wow. The
There's
Kybalion
two
and Barbie
worlds.
books are long. You right.
I'm not sweating so much. I'm not sweating at all. It's a little bit underneath my titty. But who doesn't have a little bit of titty sweat, guys?
They're probably talking about me. I'm really sweaty. Oh well, it's hot here. I can't do anything about it. Sorry, you guys.
Me, no, thank you. I'm just reading the chat right now. I haven't read this stuff in a while.
Barbie is not the same thing. You're so silly. No, it's not. But honestly, Barbie was pretty alchemical. Not gonna lie.
You mean Barbie's not the Kabbalion? It's the exact same book. Okay.
The exact same.
The little premise, spoilers for Barbie, guys, is that there is a frequency of Barbie in relation to her higher self and her lower self. This vibration, right, it gets fucked up. It's fucked up because some little girl doesn't like Barbie anymore. So because Barbie is just reacting, she's the universe reacting to this change in vibration. She gets polarized in a way. She gets to go interact with her real life. I don't fucking know, okay? But it's the Kabbalion, yes.
No, I was really following. Like,
It tracks because it's like higher selves and lower selves and like the world of forms and bullshit.
he just drove us right off a cliff, right there. Yeah, I'll try and explain it. Essentially, Barbie's real self gets activated. Barbie is living in a synthesized, an unconscious version of herself, and all of a sudden, due to external forces, she's given a new consciousness, an awareness, which is super uncomfortable. So she wakes up one morning and it's not the best day ever. And the night before at the party, she's like, "Hey, is anybody thinking about death ever?" And that's not a thing because they live in a stasis in Barbie Land, like a stasis of happiness, of light and love. But the reality is that there is more beneath the surface. And then the whole story becomes a journey of realizing this new awareness and knowing what to do with it. And I guess that is like a Kybalion and it's alchemy. Kybalion is just so codified. Like I really don't like magic that's codified. I feel like that's when it becomes dogma, superstition, religion. It's not supposed to be codified.
Yeah, because when you write it down, you fuck it up. The thing
Or
I
try
like
to
about
delineate this and that and this means this and that means that and this is midrishu. Like no, it's not. No, it's not. Not
that's
at
why
all.
I lost a lot of interest in like a lot of the like more esoteric sides of like Judaism or like any sort of religion when they try and like do math magic essentially. You're like, well, if you wear a golden plate and it has this number here and this number here and this number here, it's like that level of like reading into the weeds. But like with the Kabbalion, I like it because they keep it simple and just trying to explain the nature of wiggles and how wiggles interact with each other. And I like that about it. Like, hey guys, everything's just a squiggly line, and this is what would happen if everything was a wiggle. And it's simple. It's simple. He just explains magnets basically. He goes, everything's magnets, figure it out. And I like that. A lot of like Crowley and a lot of that. They're trying to make a name for themselves. Like, yes, I commune with this entity. It is a ghost. But also not a ghost. And it's like, Crowley, shut the fuck up. You're being weird and you're weirding people out. You know what I
He
mean?
is weird. Well, he was the guy that like was just so into the practicality of it. It's like he just didn't have any class. He didn't have any suave. He didn't get it. He wanted it to be very real, very tangible. Like he wanted to levitate physically. And he went so far as to like say that he walked in once on I think it was Yates and someone else. He walked in on them and they were levitating. And like, no, they weren't. Like, chill. Or maybe they were. I don't know. What do you guys
You
think? Do
know,
you think they were levitating? And do you think that people can levitate?
so this is a fun question. Only because if you had asked me this 5 years ago, I would have said there's no way people can levitate. That's bullshit. But
Mhm.
when I was in school at a religions class, we were learning about Saint Francis of Assisi. And I did not have a religious upbringing. I'm going to a religious college at the time because I'm funny that way. And they tell me the story of Saint Francis and how he went to the top of a mountain. He like saw God, and then God gave him the stigmata in his hands, like the holes of Christ through this dude's hand. And he comes back down from the mountain, and he's like, "Hey guys, saw God clearly. Look at my hands." And then he just goes like full Saint Francis of Assisi, lives his whole life. Super cool guy. And when I first heard that story, I was like, "Oh, this dude went on top of a mountain and drilled holes into his hands like a fucking lunatic." And then he came off the mountain. He's like, "Look at the holes in my hands. I'm a saint." That's how I used to view that story. Like, oh, this guy was just doing this bit. Now I'm hesitant. I'm far more hesitant. I've seen some shit and I've heard some shit to where if you tell me Yates was levitating in a room, it's possible.
It's possible.
It's
It is.
possible. Like there's so much weirder shit afoot than just some dude levitating a little bit. That like I don't know. There's depictions of people in the Bible as sorcerers flying around shooting lightning out of their hands. You never know. You never know. Like I'm so hesitant to be like you couldn't do that. Maybe people don't practice enough. That's the problem. Like how could you get good at shooting lightning out of your hands if you've been told you can't shoot lightning out of your hands, so you never even practice? Like if you don't practice soccer, you're not good at soccer. Figured it'd be the same.
But I feel like if one could shoot lightning from their hands, it would be as common a practice as, talking. We would be doing it. It would just be around. You would notice it. You would see someone doing it. You'd be like, whoa, that's cool. Can I do that? And like everybody would be doing it. Like our abilities are kind of out there. But I have heard of like people who do TM, who do a transcendental meditation,
Mm,
and allegedly they can levitate. And I don't know if you've ever played, there's this game we used to play when we were kids where we would pick the biggest person in the group, sit them down, and there have to be four people around. And what you have to do is layer your hands on top of the person's head and have them take 10 deep breaths. Once you do that, they'll put their arms like this, and each person will put two fingers under each one of their joint, each one. So you'll put two fingers under this elbow, two fingers under this elbow, and then two under each knee, essentially with no effort at all. You tell the person to just imagine that they're flying, and with like little to no effort, you lift them. Like they literally levitate with just your two fingers under their joints. That's it. And it's actually pretty freaky. Like I've done it. We've done it several times with our friends. We used to do it all the time when we were younger. And it's really freaky. Like we shouldn't be able to lift this person, Like that shouldn't be physically possible at all. Has anybody done this? Like has anybody heard of this? It's just this is something we
I've never heard of this, but also like I'm imagining like a group of 10-year-old girls doing it. If a 10-year-old girl weighed, let's say, 100 pounds, that would mean every girl would need to lift 25 pounds, which I feel like
no,
is
no, no.
doable.
No, 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 no. I'm talking about teenagers. I'm talking we're like 14, 15. Biggest person is like your size.
Oh
Your
shit.
size. No, no. He's
No, I
sitting
haven't
down
done
in a
that.
chair, sitting down in a chair, and there's four people the size of me, maybe a little bit bigger, but we're not exerting any effort. We're not using our muscles or anything. You just put two fingers in it. I stand here and I put two fingers under your elbow, somebody else on the other side, somebody else under the knee. and somebody else under the other knee, and we just literally all visualize. They pretend that they're flying, and we all visualize that that they're being lifted, and we don't exert any effort. You have to try it. Get five of your friends together
You guys have
and
5 friends? What the fuck?
so get five kids from town to
You're not
help
supposed to
you
do.
out.
Sure as shit can't do that one. Hey,
Oh
five
boy, I don't
youths
know.
with me. We're gonna touch you and pick you up. No.
Stiff as a board, light as a feather.
Yeah, someone said that
Yeah,
in
I
my
don't.
too.
I do, do not get five kids. Yeah, but no, it works. It's freaky. We used to do it all the time, and we just be like, "What is happening? This is breaking science." Yeah, worth trying out. And that makes me think, well, actually, levitation could easily be real because it's almost like because part of the practice, like I told you before anything, is just like 2 minutes of visualizing the person themselves. We layer our hands on top of them, all like eight of our pairs of hands, and they essentially imagine themselves. They empty their minds and they imagine themselves floating. And then we just like add that little boost, just a teeny, teeny boost, and
Have you
they'll
ever
rise like,
have you ever seen the hit film Mystery Men?
hmm,
Oh, it's really bad. There's a character in it who, when I think levitation is possible, I always think of this guy. He could become invisible as long as no one could see him and he was naked. Those were the conditions for his invisibility. And I think that's real. I think that you can do magic tricks, real magic, when there's no other sentient eyes beholding what you're doing, because it would
yeah.
cause an ontological shock in their brains. It would fuck up the matrix for them. I think you only get to do magic tricks when no one's present, or it's someone who's already well aware that magic's present. So, like, if Crowley walks in on Yates, like, floating, that's fine because it doesn't break Crowley's brain. Crowley's already seen some shit. So he's not going to be like, oh my God. Like, he's already been through the be not afraid portion of the game. So
Mhm.
it's not too much for him. You show the general population DB8's fucking floating, everyone's going to poop themselves. They're like, oh, I can't. And
Mhm.
it ruins the game immediately. If the point of this
Mhm.
game is to forget that you're playing a game, that we're all like one being and all this shit, if you could just do straight up lightning magic, it breaks the game instantly. Just
Does it
breaks it.
break the game or does it just change the rules of the game? If it's a norm, it's a norm. And today, having a cell phone, talking to someone across the world through a screen, that's some freaky shit. It changed the paradigm. It's changed the game. 100 years ago, if you were to show it to somebody, it wouldn't break the game, it would change the game, which is what
You're
it's
right.
doing.
You are correct. I'm wrong when I say
Not correct.
the game. No, if you guys like Futurama, I love Futurama. Being technically correct is the most important thing to me. Like, it would change the nature of the game, but I think it would do it in such a jarring way that a lot of people would kill them, would not alive themselves. Uh,
Hmm.
Only
They
because
just couldn't handle it.
ontological shock is inherently horrifying. That's why it's shock. It's like I was thinking the other day about how, like, the biblical angels, every time they're like, "Be not afraid," but like, in my head, I keep viewing that as like they were probably saying that for like a few months beforehand. They're probably slipping that shit in for a while. Like, hey man, just so you know, don't be afraid. They're like, okay, sure. And then like a few months go by and say, hey man, no, seriously, like, you're gonna freak out. Don't freak out. They're like, okay.
Mhm.
And then, like, right before, like, hey man, just final warning, be not afraid, everything's fine. And you just get
Mhm.
blasted with like a trillion eyes and a bajillion feathers, right? And you're just like, what the fuck? And he's like, hey man, I told you, don't be afraid. And it doesn't matter how many times you say don't be afraid, they're gonna be afraid. Be so fucking afraid, be horrified. Be, oh god.
Yeah, because it just doesn't make sense. Like that was me when I was a kid. I told you guys before, the devil would show up. There was a period of my life where the devil would literally just show up in my face. And even though it went on for like over a year, I was still broken by it every time. Like every time I was still freaked out. I was still shocked. I still could not think straight. I would still spend every day just like shaking, wondering when he was going to show up, where and when he was going to show up. Like just getting ready for my daily freak out, essentially. It's scary. Or to make it more tangible, I guess, and to let's go way out of topic. something else entirely. But Hannibal, when he when he fought the Romans, when he fought Rome, he took African elephants with him across the ocean and then literally across the Alps. The man shredded the Alps with elephants, African elephants. And he did it because no one expected him to do it. No one was expecting him to attack Italy or Rome from there. But when they did get there with the elephants, and Italian farmers saw African elephants, which they had never seen before, they thought they were completely out of this world. They thought that these were monsters. These were giant creatures that came from outside of the earth. Some of them just like ran, just passed out. Like people were just fleeing fields upon fields and villages and towns so as not to have to contend with these monsters.
But I think that's everyone would always talk about sea monsters, and we just started naming them, guys. And we're like, oh yeah, this is a sperm whale. And you're like, cool guys, a sperm whale by any other name is a sea monster. Like it is a toothed whale that's a predator that likes to attack. That's a sea
Mhm.
monster. Like, but like you get desensitized to it, and then we get to this state right now where we're so cocky because we got these big old telescopes. We got these big old telescopes, and we're looking into outer space, and we're like, guys, we can't see any aliens. And you grow up with that thought process, like, oh, there's no aliens, but I would know about it. And then the
Indeed.
ontological shock would come when it's revealed that, hey guys, not only are the aliens with you right now, they've always been with you. It's a higher
Right.
dimension. They perceive your entire timeline like it's like you watch Netflix. Like it's you. There's never been a moment where you were alone, even if you felt very alone. That's never even
Hmm.
happened. Like that's an ontological fucking shock that breaks your brain. You're just like, hooga booga booga. There's a lot bigger things at play. And then after that, yeah, the game would change, like the nature of the game, like what everyone's doing, it would shift. It wouldn't end. It would be like a new game.
But lots of people would have been at this point, kind of sacrificed or gone as casualties to ontological shock, I guess, is what you
If you did,
think.
yeah, a lot of people are really invested in their reality being real. Very invested.
By the way, Lionel, they didn't defeat the elephants by burning wild boars. That was actually Hannibal's. That was one of Hannibal's tactics, burning wild boars and sending them across the river to have the Roman army run after them and then sacking the town. So, wrong.
Got them.
Random person in the comment section. Was it
So,
trumpets? I
some of
think
the
deja vu is a time alien rewinding your life to rewatch it. Very nice.
there are some haters in here, which is kind of funny. It's because it's about discussions you and I have had where we agree on everything, and they're like telling me like, oh yeah, like this will get them, and I'm like, nope, had that conversation. We agree.
I have a very interesting comment section. Some people don't like you. Some people
Yeah.
think that we're dating. Some people are jealous. They would like to be the one in your place speaking. Boys, I'm gonna need you to step it up a little bit. Okay? I need more of an effort than just your fingers clacking at a keyboard.
Oh, that's a
Okay?
good insight. Beauty was a crime. You'd be the most free person.
Xana, of course you get, of course
Herpes
first.
the
Of course
cynic.
you. What did you say?
Someone call me Herpes the cynic. I really like that bit. That was a fun one. I might use that.
Lame, you guys.
Well, I don't. I like a good insult, and like I haven't heard that one yet, mostly because I don't browse them. But that is a banger.
Thank you for the likes, you guys. You're so sweet.
Oh yeah, likes and stuff.
And
Oh, I got more
and
now.
please
What are you at?
please go follow. Go follow on Instagram. Remember, Instagram and YouTube if you want to see the lives afterwards recorded and edited, then you
You're
should
recording
also
this?
TikTok records all of the live.
Oh,
And
does
yeah, I'll
it?
put this on YouTube eventually, at least the good parts, if there are any good parts. I have more than you. I have more likes than you, for
It's
sure.
just,
How many
like,
people
how
are
can
in
you
there?
tell?
How many people are in there? Guys, go see how many people are in there for me and come
216.
back.
There's
Don't let
216,
him
but
lie. Tell me.
I'm not
I have
creeping up on
people
Facebook.
coming in and out. They're giving me the tea. I don't need you to tell me.
She's like, everyone's being so mean to you. I just got time to sit there. I like you, Calhoun. You're my favorite, although you're named after the
Oh, he's more than a
trader.
damn.
Nancy Calhoun, is that his name?
I've heard
Mm.
this name, but I don't know what it is. Damn, he's doing better than us, guys. Hermes people, come to our side.
You keep calling them my people, and my people, they prefer me because I'm mean to them, and they like that energy. Like he calls us idiots.
For real. It's because their parents were mean to them.
Oh, that might be it.
That's
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
or have died.
Oh, probably. We'd fight a lot. It'd be fun. It's
Who
what you're
fights a
saying.
lot?
No, you're my BFF. I
Who
finished
fights
mine.
a lot? Guys.
Ponytail and no shoes. I don't have shoes on. You're right. Also, I don't like wearing shoes. I like wearing flip flops because it women hate it and makes my feet comfy. So it's a win win.
Women don't like flip-flops?
Non Southern California. That is an ick. That is a speed running of an ick, which is insane because it's Southern California. It's lovely every fucking day. I'm gonna wear flip flops. Why would I put on socks? That's stupid.
That doesn't make sense.
No, I agree. People are fucking insane. They'll move here too. They're like from New York. You're like, oh, you're wearing flip flops. Gross. And it's like, I didn't wear shoes through the entirety of high school. What are you guys talking about?
So now you don't wear flip-flops?
I only wear flip flops. I only put shoes on when I'm going to the gym or I'm looking like an adult man. I'm gonna do adult man stuff. Then I'll put some shoes on.
Oh, okay. But aren't you afraid of the ick?
No, you gotta speed run icks. You speed run them. You grow a big hobo beard. You get rid of. Also, if a woman has an ick to like a dude who wears flip flops, we're incompatible. I wouldn't stop wearing flip flops for a girl to fucking like me. It would just be us dating until she realizes, oh, he's gonna wear flip flops a lot, and then that's where we're gonna fight. Fuck that. I wear flip flops. What's up? And then you just speed run that shit. You just speed run all the icks as fast as you can. Like, you grow a big beard. First date, girl goes, hey, you should shave this. That's an ick for me. How dare you tell me what to do with my appearance, my face, my image? Fuck you. But it speed runs that shit because it tells me they're not into that, which makes us incompatible. I would ever date someone who's like, you gotta look a certain. Oh, you can tell someone how to look, but like not their face. That's weird.
You can tell on their face that they have an ick?
Well, it's okay. I feel like if you like tell your partner like, oh, you should wear X, Y, and Z. I think you would look good in this. But when it's literally like their face, like your face looks better when you do X, Y, or Z. I think that's weird. You just like their face.
I mean, that's true. But then, no, some people do look better with certain looks.
Oh, for sure, but like,
Crocs are an
who
ick.
cares? I look great with the mustache, but it's boring. It's so boring. This is interesting and weird, which makes it more fun. When you just have like a hot guy mustache, you just feel like a jackass like all of the time because you have a fucking mustache on your face, playing into that stereotype and that role. It's all symbols and shit.
But if it looks good, it looks good.
Yeah, but I would look good in a garbage bag. Like, like
Okay.
it doesn't matter. Hot's a mindset. Hot is like what you physically look like. It's all mental.
Oh, okay.
You ever meet someone who like used to be super hot when they were younger, and then they got older and they stopped being hot, but they still are hot for some reason? Like everyone's still into them. It's mindset.
You're right, because some people will grow up ugly, get hot, and not even recognize. They won't know.
They won't know.
They'll
They'll
still
be like,
have,
wow, everyone's so much nicer to me for some reason.
and they'll still have those insecurities. Like, ooh, do I actually look good? Do I actually feel good? They want you to let your hair down.
I'm gonna let my hair down. Oh, oy vey.
Oh, he's doing it. He's doing it, you guys.
Okay.
Does the
Oh,
garbage
that's
bag have garbage in it?
I want my hair to go up straight. There we go. Hair.
Oh, beautiful.
Is this better? Does it look more put together?
It's beautiful. You should keep your hair like that. Your face looks better like that.
Thank you.
Just kidding.
It gives me a nice shadow. I actually prefer my hair this way. Just the wind will never abide.
I'm playing. I'm just referencing your comment. Definitely doesn't look better like this. I mean, unless you want
Look
to
like
go for
Medusa.
a little hobo Medusa look. Sure. Einstein.
Ooh, he's a vibe. I want his hat from Oppenheimer. Little black beanie. I gotta read my chats. What are they saying?
I win the hair competition. I have the best hair. I was thinking of dyeing it.
Never. Don't dye your hair. It's fucking weird.
Wow.
That's so weird.
Why is it weird?
It's like we all evolved, right? We all had like these ancestors, and they all looked a certain way, and that way got them laid consistently to us being here. And then we're like, okay, all of my ancestors have had beautiful curly hair. I need to bleach my hair and straighten it. What? It's fucking crazy. changing it in any way makes no sense. Whatever you got probably is the best move because it got everyone laid up until this point. So I tell all men, grow your facial hair no matter how gross it looks. It'll be fine.
All right. I mean, some people in the comments are voting also don't die. Some people are writing -10. I don't understand. I don't know what you guys mean by -10.
Gryffindor? I don't know.
Oh, because you're telling me what to do with my hair,
Oh, yeah.
and you don't want people to tell you, guys, he's not telling me what to do. He's pretty much saying your hair is beautiful. Don't change it. That's a compliment. That's not something we want to get upset about.
Well, but you
I'll
but I
dye it if
deliver
you
it in a
want
way.
to.
Yeah, but I deliver it in a way that's like, you got to do what I say. I'm the correct man. I'm Mr. Correct all the time.
Yeah. No, that wasn't the vibe. It was more, no, I love your hair because it's so beautiful. Please don't dye it. But I will do what I want. Don't even worry. And maybe dye it red. Just like red.
Like red,
Witchy.
red, like a ginger.
Yes, like witchy red. That could be
That
cool.
could be fun. But you'd have to bleach it first, I think.
Probably. It's really dark. I did have a blonde stage. I had a blonde era. It was awful.
And blonde people are fine. I'm assuming at least 5 of you were blonde. My mother's a blonde, everyone. So like, I'm allowed to say mean things about blonde people. I just don't like how their hair isn't mine. My hair is very unique and cool. Calhoun's last girlfriend was a blonde, and they broke up. I'm on Calhoun's side for everything.
Bad sign. Deeply heretical? Really? I'm deeply heretical?
Yeah.
Why, thank you.
Yeah.
What a compliment. I try.
I wish I could be heretical. I'm just a clown.
Brumena, I haven't gone yet. Like, I've only been here for like 4 days. Samatlat Mahal, and I was in Eden for the last 48 hours.
To be fair, I like this guy too. Passionate Rebellion. I'm a pretty big fan of me. The chat is so observing. We need more hecklers, I think. That's where they like me more. At least this person does. It makes me happy in my heart.
Who likes who more? They like you?
I'd assume that people watching this from your side probably like you more, but I think my fans are just better people on average as humans go.
No, they're not. My audience is better for sure. Like, what? We are the superior humans. I'm kidding. We're all amazing. We're all beautiful. Anybody in this live on either side is a beautiful person and is on the right side. Unless you're hate watching us, because then I don't even know.
Then I like you. Then you're my favorite people in here.
No.
Fucking TikTok only shows me content of people I can't stand. It'll be like, hey, do you want to get a rise out of this guy? And it'll just show me some shit. And I'll sit there shaking. And I'll use TikTok for like an hour straight some days. And I'll finish. And I'll just be so high strung. And I'll be like, hey, man, that app got you. Fucking got you. And it's like, ugh. Even thinking about it's making me get all perturbed. But yeah, I recommend hate watching things. It's really fun. And the algorithm recommends stuff you can't. I can stand a lot of people, Autumn. I'm doing a joint live right now with someone. That is me standing someone.
I don't have a lot of things that can actually trigger me that much. Like, there isn't a lot of things I could watch and feel like that anger and hate watch it. Unless it's like so terribly horrendous, like some dark web child, abuse type shit. Like, it has to be something like that. Otherwise, like, there's nothing I could like hate watch. If somebody is like that I terribly disagree with that's on screen, I find that a lot of fun. Like, more so than it actually like makes me angry. Like when I watched What Is a Woman, that the Daily Wire,
yeah.
like that I thought was parody. Like, I watched that whole thing thinking it was parody for a long time until he started like actually talking to people. And I was like, oh, this is real. You're talking to a professor and a doctor. You're for real, for serious. It was interesting.
Banana. I like hate watching TikTok lives. Like the people pretending to be robots or what the fuck they're AIs. I've watched a lot of that. I'll find one person and then I'll just watch them do it for like an hour straight. I won't tip them anything. I'll just watch. And to me, that's hell. That's a nightmare, right? Like just sitting there going, "Oh, thanks for the hot dog. Thanks for the hot dog," like over and over and over again for hours. Would they do it? They do it. If I were to go into the lives right now and I were to scroll, I'd see a bunch of people doing that shit, and it's so dark. It's so dark. Like to be in that mental state doing that. So good to watch, though. It's like, what happened to you? Like, what steps led to this?
Well, it's easy money too. Like, what are you doing? Literally nothing. It's taking no energy, no mental or physical or any kind of energy. Some people do it because they're broke, fana. Like they'll just get on and just start going, give me a cent, I know. They're trying to make a buck. Like we were talking about,
There's
like
so
I
much
would rather
easier.
do that. I would rather do that. If there were no options, I would rather do that than a minimum wage job, honestly.
Thanks for the glizzy. Sorry. No, I would rather do this than a minimum wage job too. Like, I'll never do a minimum wage job again unless it's like a bit. But like, it's just like a dark sign of the times that we're at that point of the game where it's like, hey, this is feasible to make enough money to survive. Pretend to be a robot. Go. It's fucking dark. Also, like, I feel like real stripping would just be better. Like, it depends. Never mind. I take that back because if you're like in Iowa, right, you're not gonna be making like downtown Santa Monica strip club money. You'll be making like outside of Boise strip club money, and that's not the move. So maybe doing the TikTok live thing it would be the move there.
Or
Shit.
imagine it anywhere else in the world where there are less laws, less rights, no unions, nothing to protect you, pimps that will essentially use you and keep your money. You know, nothing is written down, there's no protection. And no people in the industry, for example, here get very, very abused and barely ever paid even when they're supposed to. Like if you're lucky you can go on your own and you can do it independently and try to make your way, but it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. And getting on TikTok and doing NPC shit is much easier, you know.
Yeah, it's the comparisons. Yeah, it's the obvious move. It's also it's just still so dark. It's literally an episode of Black Mirror. I'm pretty sure, which is why it's so dark because it's like just doing entertainment to make a living. Like this is fun for me because this is just like being on a phone call with one of my friends. But
We're
there's a
not
comment
friends.
section. But
We're not
like
friends, Hermes, okay?
what?
We're not friends. Miss it?
Sorry. With a creator on the platform I use.
Sorry, I'm just
Um, but the comment section is fun because you can just like scroll through here.
I don't know, the whole NPC culture is a little bit much for me. From the people acting like NPCs to people who call other people NPCs. It's almost like they're like leaning into it, you know, just claiming the term. Oh, you think I'm an NPC? Well, yes I am. Uh-huh. Look, I'm like a Sims character.
That's how it feels like when you work at a minimum wage job. Like if you go work at a cafe, it feels like you're doing an NPC bit in a cafe. It's like, oh, what will be your order today? Oh, okay. I miss that stuff though sometimes. Sometimes I miss working like real shitty jobs because like the days are really interesting. Cause you just shoot the shit with people, like customers as they come and go. Meet fun people that way, but you also meet a lot of assholes, which is also fun in its own unique way.
You guys are so thirsty in these comments. I need you to calm down. Calm down.
See,
You
that,
love pretending to be an NPC. Somebody wrote here, Zoe, do you really do that? Chats are usually thirsty. You're right. You are right. Oh, Zoe, I'm so sorry. She said I do it at work to cope with the fact that I'm at work. Damn.
there's a lot of people on my side who are like they keep bringing up anti-Semitism in my side. Guys, I'm a Semite.
How are you anti-Semitic?
No. They're like, oh, Twitchy witch. So you should Google this. And I'm just
You're
like,
calling
guys,
Twitchy Rich the anti-Semite.
yeah, it's like she's not anti-Semitical.
She is Semite. She is Arab woman. She is Semite, yes? It's Semitic language. Arab is Semitic. No?
Like it's
You know?
it's like guys, being anti-Zionist is usually just a move. It's the move everyone should opt for at all times. Because that's just ethno-state fascism, guys, which is a no-no. Because it keeps popping up in my comments from like the same two people. And I'm like, guys, I know, and I don't care because you guys are dumb.
Is Semite. Arab is Semite. Is much Arabic. Yes, Allah, Elohim is one Allah. Okay, but I don't have that much love for Allah either. So maybe what? Yes, I am.
That's the other thing. It's like, ugh. I feel like people just like impose religions onto people or like thought processes onto people to be like, oh, this person must think this way, this person must think this way, just like of arbitrary, like you speak in Arabic sometimes, so you might be thinking, oh, well, obviously her views are this, and it's like, no, it's just the language. It's just the language. It's not a. It's just how things work.
Right. Sister, are you Muslim? Sister, no. Brother, no. Are you Jew? No. I think we like to be able to characterize each other so that we can relate to each other via what we already know. Like it'll just make it easier for me to connect with you and talk with you, or make me feel safer, I guess, when talking with you, if I'm able to characterize you. As if if I know your religion, then I'll know what to say or how to say it. You know?
Yeah, it's like what's the term? It's not code switching, but it's similar. Knowing your audience, I guess.
Relational strategies.
Yeah.
Like astrology, like Zoe's saying, I love astrology because it's like little boxes for everything. And it just gives you more to work with and more lenses to look at this person through, as opposed to just your naked eye. But I'm gonna tell you something, guys. I'm a big fan of the naked eye. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the boxes and the labels. Much bigger fan of the naked eye. Just lots more room to actually appreciate someone's being.
Yes. I dropped my hair tie. It was when I was fidgeting with. Ah, there it is. It's my pink one.
Show us the cat.
What?
Show us the kitty.
Little miss, you wanna come over here? What if I wasn't wearing pants? Everyone, what if I stood up right now? Because I wasn't expecting to stand up. What if I stood up and there's just no pants on? What do we do as an audience? Can we handle it?
We would laugh.
Oh, I'm wearing pants, guys. You guys get your mind out of the gutter. Kitten though.
He was wearing pants. Oh, kitty.
Here, look.
Oh, hi. Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful.
This
Is she the one?
She's little Miss. She's little Leah. She's everyone's favorite. She's my favorite.
It's
But don't
her.
tell the other ones. You're not supposed to have favorites.
Yo, I miss my cat so much. Oh my goodness.
People in the chat, you should go get a kitten if you don't have one. You should just go adopt kittens. It's super easy. They're free, usually. If you're paying money for cats, you're doing it wrong. You can tell I abuse her because of how much she's trying to get away from me.
She looks exactly like my cat. She looks like Leo. Baba Naturo.
Big Mr. Serious Boy. Get on the screen, baby. Look at you. You're on the screen.
Cat distribution system. You guys, I Googled the cat distribution system yesterday because I thought it was a thing. I thought it was a real thing. And I Googled it yesterday, and the first thing that comes up in my Google search is the cat distribution system is a phrase coined by TikToker Hermes the Cynic to refer to the way that cats just show up in people's lives. And I was like, wait, what? People are writing articles upon articles about this dude's TikTok?
When you give the people what they like, the people talk,
It was not a thing. It was not a thing. It's a thing now, but it's not a thing. Google, Juan. Google cat distribution system, and you'll see what I mean. You will understand what it is. People have gone into it in detail, explaining it.
Yeah. Also, guys, when you're Googling things, Google the word chiroaudiovascular malexia. Just while you're at it, just throw that bad boy in there for your Google searches.
All right. It is like
Oh yeah.
Almost 1 o'clock.
Yeah, you should go to bed, girl.
Probably won't go to bed, but I do want to smoke, as you all know. There's no chemistry between us. Y'all need to stop. You need to stop. Stop. And we've talked about so many interesting things.
We're just bros, guys.
Yes, bros.
We're
we're full bros. Okay? Us, look, we basically look like we're related. It would be weird.
You're weird.
Okay? Yes, I am a cat, so I'm not that cat. I'm not answering you guys anymore. I have to go.
Your conversation sounds fun.
I have to go. I'm done. I'm done.
All right, you go. You go do that thing with the smoking.
But yes, but guys, if you haven't already, make sure you follow me on Instagram. Help me reach 20K. Come on. Come on. Come on, you guys. And on YouTube. Because this conversation will be edited, or the better parts of the conversation, if there are any, will be edited and put on YouTube. So, yeah, the rooster is going wild. He has Alzheimer's, so he just cacaws through the night. I think he thinks that it's his voice that brings up the sun. So he just keeps going until the sun comes up. So
Eventually, he'll be right, though.
yeah, but I mean, it takes him all night. It's pretty ineffective. Like,
Yeah.
you should put the chat. I don't think I can put the chat. I wish I could, you guys. But anyways, if you haven't already, go follow on Instagram and YouTube. Hermes, thank you for joining me today. This was a lot of fun.
This was a hoot and a half.
Yeah. For sure, for sure.
Toodaloo.
All right. Talk again.
Never. Never, ever.
I thought we were bros. Oof, man just left. Sheesh. Hermes should join a Discord. He's in our Discord, but he just never uses Discord. We are still here, Sade. Did you guys enjoy that? What'd you think? Did you guys have a good time? Did you like it? Did you like the conversation? Girl, Katie is getting ready to pop. She has things to say. It was painful. No. Stay on for I wish I could stay on for the smoke break, but they don't let me smoke on here. You make better content alone. Aw, you're so sweet. You guys didn't like him? You didn't like this man. You really didn't like this man. It was fun to watch. Yeah, I thought it was fun to watch. No, we would not. We would not make a good couple. It's not happening. He's not judgmental. He's just very assertive. He's a good person. You gotta let boys ramble. I've grown up with boys, you guys. I've grown up with men and boys. And if you don't let them ramble, they get mad and incommunicative. But if you let them finish, they'll let you make a point. And, it's okay. Anyways, I love you guys. The next time you have a conversation with someone, remember to let them finish, even if you don't like what they're saying. Keep in mind the things that you want to rebuttal with and you want to say back, but just let people finish. Let people say what they have to say. It's not the end of the world if they say something you disagree with. You can always just disagree and say what you have to say and share your perspective. Keep it light, keep it playful, stay patient, listen to what people have to say. And yeah, I'm glad you guys liked it, even the ones who didn't really like it. I'm glad you liked me enough to stay. Anyways, I love you. I'm obsessed with you. And if you want to have more cool conversations with all of the cool people in here, like Katie, Zoe, Aaron, etc., and the other Katie, come join our Discord, the Twitchyverse. You can find that on my website, twitchy-witch.com. Go to my website, click on the little Discord link, and come join us. It's a good time. It's the best time. It's literally the best community there is out there, to be honest with you. I love our cults. We're having a party soon. We're having our 1-year anniversary soon. So you'll want to be there. All right, you guys? I love you. I love that you love our cult, Zoe. I love you guys all so much. Yes, come to our cult party. And I'll see you soon. Love you. But it's not a matter of good and wrong. It's a matter of tasty and not tasty. I want tasty. Give me tasty. No tasty? Bye.